how are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Wonderful also. And thank you so much for saying yes for this small talk, because everyone here is so excited to hear from you. So what do you want to tell about yourself? What's your name? What do you want to share for everyone who is watching us?
Sure. My name is Jana Hess. I'm from Germany. I'm the daughter of Peter Hess, and I've been doing things with singing bowls since the 1980s. Right now, I'm the owner of Hess Klangkonzepte. We do the bowls, the Peter Hess bowls, and yep, exactly. And that's what we've been doing for many years, and that's what I love doing. So, and I'm also a teacher. I haven't done teaching in a while. Yep. And I have a lot of connections with the United States. So I'm also part of the Peter Hess Academy together with Gina Armstrong in the United States.
So many projects around the world.
I know, right?
Wonderful.
Awesome.
And do you remember the first time you heard the singing bowl? How old are you?
Well, I was a teenager. Let me think. So it was in the 80s. I was born 72. I was probably 15, 16 years old.
And afterwards, how, as a young teenager and later, how did you decide to, okay, let's do it professional, let's become more aware how everything works, and let's do this for a profession? How was your process?
Well, first, I only helped my family. I mean, I hand wrote all the letters and then we copied them and all that. So that was just for fun and because I was part of the family, and I went to the expos with my father and all that. But I studied fashion design first. I wanted to become a fashion designer. And when I finished, I met my now husband and wanted to stay close to him. And so at first, it was just me doing layout in my parents' company. But I wanted, when I think I was, let me see, my son, my firstborn was 2 years old maybe. And then I did an intensive training, which that's 18 years ago now. I did an intensive training with my father in Austria, and I fell in love with the method. And that's when I decided I really want to go for it and make this my life job.
My life job. And now you are working around the world with singing bowls, Germany, USA.
Yes, and we've had an exciting year last year. I was in Paris and did a project with wonderful French practitioners. I was in Dubrovnik and did a project with the Croatian Academy, and it's just been exciting to work with practitioners from all over the world.
And do you find any, I was just wondering, do you find any, let's say, not a special approach, but any difference in a way of applying the method or the way the singing bowls are played country by country? Do you find any, let's say, cultural difference?
The way they're being played? Well, they're all Peter Hess practitioners, so they're all very good and very attentive at playing. Everyone I have met has been doing a wonderful job. So very lightly and attentive and very watching out that the technique is being worked well, but also being very connected with the client. So no, I haven't seen. They're all wonderful and all the same attentiveness is there.
That's wonderful, because one thing I must confess, it really, it was a passion for me because, okay, let's face it, I can have a course in Portugal and then I can go to France and continue my studies, and having this structure is a very way of very well, how to say it, a very structured way. And as a client also, it's wonderful to know if I go to Portugal or if I go to France or wherever, I can have this very same method applied to me.
Right. I really like that about it too, that it's very structured, and it's also, it's not only, it doesn't only address like one specific area of life. You know, anybody who is interested in working with sound is really can use it. And if we have a lot of people coming from America to Europe to learn the method here, and then go on and do like level 3 and 4 in the US or the other way around. So I think that's really a great thing about the method, is that all teachers are very well trained, and you can just do one level here and the other one in another part of the world.
And I was just wondering also, what is the in-person for, because you were just sharing that you can apply it in several areas of your life. So in personal way, what is, because let's face it, the benefits for a sound massage, we can read it on internet. So for your own experience, what is the most important how to say it, things that singing bowls bring into your own personal life?
Well, what I like best is that the more I work with the bowls, the quicker I relax. And so it really, you know, when my mind, which it often does, goes, you know, and is running around like crazy, it really helps me calm down quickly. And, yeah, that's what and it gives me security, because I've experienced it in a wellness way. You know, I have received sound massages and made me relax, and I felt comfortable. So when I pick up the bowl now and I'm in stress, it really helps me to calm down. I mean, I've had my third child with the bowls, actually. My dad was there. It was she was born at home, and so when labor stopped, he gave me a sound massage, and so being able to receive the sound in such a painful situation, knowing the sound is good, though. I mean, having received sound before and connecting it with a good situation made me be able to let go and have my baby girl, who's now turning 10, actually.
Did the singing bowls were with you also during the delivery?
Well, yeah, in a time where I took a break, and so I didn't have any labor, which and then my dad did the sound space, which helped me relax. So that helped me to go on with it.
How wonderful experience. And does your little girl also likes to play with singing bowls? And
she does. I mean, yeah, she does. It came naturally, and she loved to play with it very much when she was little. Right now it's not so much a thing, but yeah, it's a natural with her.
Perhaps in several years, if I have the opportunity to interview her and ask her, do you remember your first time? And she will say, probably when I was first born.
Yes, probably.
Oh, wonderful. And as a practitioner, do you have any, I always like to ask this thing about singing bowls, knowing sometimes things emerge, sometimes things are not so nice and easy and quiet and relaxed, because let's face it, like you said, we just bring up a secure space in order to well-being, but sometimes different things emerge. Do you have any experience that you want to share with us?
I haven't had that situation yet. So what we as practitioners always do, we have the talk before the sound massage, and let the client know that if anything feels uncomfortable, to let us know. So I haven't been in that situation yet. It's so in our trainings we learn how to react when those situations arise, and that's a very crucial part in our trainings, that we try not to heal someone or to do it like a psychology thing.
Right.
Then if we're not psychologists.
Right.
If we are, there's things that you can work with. If we're not, like I'm not, then I try to change things around if that person doesn't feel comfortable. If if they don't like, if they feel uncomfortable with bowls or different tones on the body, we change the situation.
Yeah, and it's always a self-healing process. Even when anything happens, is always for the best of that person. And the other way around, do you want to share with us any, let's say, a special experience with someone that really connect more deeply into your heart and you want to share with us?
I've had a couple of occasions where I've had clients that say, "Don't worry, I'm going to try this, but I can never relax." And they fell asleep, which I thought was awesome, because that's the best sign of showing they were relaxed indeed. And I've had a lot of clients who, when they got up from the table, they had these rosy cheeks. And it looked like they're, how the way you look when you fall in love, and and it looks like a fountain of youth, when you see the person before and after a sound massage. I've had that quite often, and I love that very much. And I love very much that we have such a method that's not, pushing and trying to be the ones that change something. We're giving a space, and it's very subtle, and I like that very much about us.
That way of offering space for people just to be more about that cheek thing. I always think perhaps we should have a photographer here for having the before and after a sound healing session.
That would be awesome. We should do that.
Yeah, it's so wonderful. And let's say I was just wondering about all these experience. What is the most? We just said it before. It's a different areas approach. So, what is the most common request when people came to you?
Well.
Because we have these special protocols in order, if I have some special and located pain, we have these special protocols in order to offer well-being. But I was just wondering, in your own special case, what is the most common request from your clients?
So when I'm not doing sound massages very often, because my other work is quite
demanding.
Fulfilling. But I've had a lot of people with back aches and neck aches. I mean, that's what we have nowadays, is the neck, because we get stiff from thinking and worrying, and the back from sitting too much. So we're trying to give that sound space for that area. And as many of you who work with sound know, we give an area for that. We're not trying to treat the problem. So those were the most common areas, and women also, like the belly area often, yeah. And now, I mean, I've been working with a lot of estheticians lately, so we like doing the face, which
all the neck area.
Yeah, the neck, and also the face. We have a little round facial bowl that we put on the cheekbones, and that's quite fun.
Wonderful. And also, because of the Holy Ass project and everything, you also have a large participation on fairs and stands around the world. So what is the reaction of most people that is just intrigued? Oh, what is that? And when they hear the first time a singing bowl, a Peter Hess singing bowl playing?
So, I mean, there's a lot of people nowadays that have seen singing bowls before. That has changed. I mean, I remember from going to fairs in the 80s and 90s, and people didn't know what it was. And it was always a very esoteric thing. And it has changed, luckily, so it's quite accepted. I mean, I have a lot of people who say, oh, I have played a singing bowl before, but it's a crystal one. That's quite often, especially in the United States. And And I also have some that say, well, I bought one at a shop, but this one sounds so much longer, or so much nicer, or it feels so good. So they feel the difference. And I mean, of course, but for people who don't know the difference between the crystal bowls and these bowls. So the crystal bowls are very direct in the tone, and this has like the bouquet of sounds and the vibrations. Yeah. So they're very excited.
Yeah, and also in fairs, what is the most, let's say, requested singing bowls? Because we have the little ones with more higher tones, we have the large ones for deeper tones and for different approaches. What is the let's say bestseller product?
The bestseller is the universal bowl it's actually this one. It has a thin rim, and it has, like, if you use, can you hear the sound over this? Like, the microphone does it well. So it has the high tones.
I can help it from here. Also,
it has the high tones and the low tones, and it has a very moving sound. So you can use it anywhere on the body. This is what I recommend, and this is really what you can use if you only want to start with one bowl. But sometimes we do have requests that people like the very stable sound of the heart bowl or the deep low sounds of the belly bowl. So that's quite different. But that's the bowl that you can use. I mean, that's our bestseller because you can use it anywhere.
So if someone goes to the stand and just say, oh, I find this sound so interesting, and I have, let's say, sometimes headaches or something, what is your advice?
My advice is for anybody with any problem that you can do like little exercises daily, and they're very simple. Just place the bowl on the hand before work, after work, before a meeting, or before an argument, or whatever is and place it on your hand, and just take your time and strike it, and then put it on your other hand. Or if you can't fall asleep, put it on your belly in bed and strike it, and just listen to the sound, and adjust your breathing and listen to the sound. And that's all you need to shut the brain off for a while. And that can get your body into the relaxed state where the body itself can do its job to feel confident again, and to feel ready for the day, or to come down from whatever stress you've had all day. Yes.
And I have child in my house, so can I use it on child also?
Oh, definitely. Your child will use it by itself probably if you offer it. So you don't have to do much. Just, how old is the child?
Let's say 2 years old.
All right. So maybe you should be around the child while it uses it, and use a mallet that works well for the child. And just be careful that the bowl can't fall off the table or so, but you can put it like on the carpet and play with the child, and it'll experience with it and try to find out what to do with it.
So I don't have to have any special training formation if I just want to have a singing bowl?
Well, if you want to use it for yourself and you're very attentive with yourself, you could try it out without a training. You can feel if it feels good or if it doesn't. And if you do that, then you feel if it doesn't feel comfortable. With a few exceptions, I would always say never put it on a problem. But if you want to use the bowls on somebody else, I would always recommend a training, because you never know how that person feels. Even if it's a friend, you cannot feel what the other person is feeling. So it's very important that you learn what technique is correct and how to use it and how to be very attentive with the other person.
And in fairs, do you also have this experience, meaning, so I'm a therapist, I'm a psychologist, I'm a wherever doctor, and how can singing bowls help my daily work?
For professionals from those areas?
From the healthy, yeah.
Well, it's always a good way to, if you're a psychologist, you have a client there. It's always good to be opening up to a session. So you could just even just strike it on the table and together listen to the sound, or have the client feel it on their hands first, and then you can start the session, and you can even end it like that. It's real easy, and it does help. So that's really an easy practice that anyone can do. A teacher can do that, or kindergarten, or let's say in the hospitals. I mean, it's just striking it gently and giving some sound already does make changes. And then there's a lot of other things that you can do, that you can add on, that we have special trainings for in Portugal, for example, or other countries that are very interesting for those professions.
And we were just earlier talking about this holistic approach. So if I'm not aware of it, is meaning holistical, because I most of the times make confusion with mystical. So what is the main purpose of using a singing bowl with an holistic approach?
You mean if as somebody who in complementary
with someone who doesn't know really the meaning of holistic, and sometimes confuses with mystical and these different ways of approaching the sound.
Okay, so holistically approaching.
What does this mean? Holistic approach with a singing bowl.
All right. So meaning. Well, I'm not sure exactly what you mean, but it's meaning approaching the whole body, and not only approaching symptoms, and not. So our method and our bowls are not only for spiritual people or esoteric people. They are also very much so for connecting whatever to the earth and to the heavens, But basically, our method is very simple, and so this is why anybody can work with it, from spiritual people to non-spiritual people, to doctors or politicians, or just you and me, And it's a very nice method to add onto other methods like a massage or so. But it's also a standalone thing that you can just do the sound massage to relax, and anything else the body can do by itself.
Yeah, always this wisdom of our body. If we just have a small cut, our body knows exactly what to do. So it's the same thing with sound. We just arrange things, and the relaxation process, the self-healing process emerges naturally. Do you have any, let's say, curiosity about the sound, or what in your personal experience is most, let's say, intriguing about the sound? Do you have any, let's put it as a curiosity.
So, I mean, I think it's very interesting. There are studies about the sounds that, the body picks the sounds that it needs, which I find really interesting. I don't know if some of you or you have read the studies, how they measured the singing bowl on my hand, and they measured it on somebody else's hand, and some, were missing on this person, which were there on the other. So I think that's quite an interesting thing. There's so many things that I don't know, because I am just me, and there's so many professionals who have found out
their own experience.
Yes, and so many amazing things with the singing bowls and the Peter Hess sound massage, and that just amazes me that so many people around the world who work with this method find out awesome things that how it works on in different areas.
Yeah, and one thing it was really a very nice surprise is that Peter House singing bowls earn a beauty prize, right?
Yes, we did. I was very surprised myself, but actually, I mean, knowing that beauty does come first from within, I mean, it can be, added with the right products and stuff. But if you are not content and if you are not feeling that you're beautiful yourself, then how can you look beautiful, right? So, and they found, and I think that's wonderful. I'm very thankful for Indie Beauty Expo because they recognize that it doesn't always have to be very complicated, but this product brings you deep relaxation and then the beauty from within comes. So yeah, we won best tool, device, accessory. Yeah.
It's wonderful. Having a singing bowl has a beauty device.
I know. And I heard where like the second trending right after CBD. So singing bowls are the second trending beauty hit in the USA this year, I heard.
Oh, I didn't knew it. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. And any more news around the world concerning singing bowls method that do you want to share with us? Like these special little things?
I can't think of any right now, actually.
We should, yeah. And now it's perhaps time for the ones who are watching us. I don't know if anyone else has some questions for saying or anything else that you want to say about working again with the singing bowls. And most of the people have this it's mostly the things we discussed earlier. How do you use how is your personal use of singing bowls and within your own experience? And so I was just wondering if anyone else has some questions for us. No, sure. Not for the moment. Yeah, because the ones I received in advance, I just put it for, so I think. So Jana, I'm so grateful again for having you here with us. It was such a pleasure. Even my English is starting to, when we are so excited that the sun is rolling up.
Well, thank you so much for having me. That's exciting. I'm not very practiced at Instagram Live, but thank you for having me. Anyway.
Neither am I. And actually, this Singing Bowl Voices project is someone I want to do around the world. Our next guest is also going to be for a faraway country, very far away from Portugal, and it's just a way of putting out the voices of the singing bowls in order to say, here, it is something that you can use for well-being, something for deep relaxation. You don't have to, if you just want a very good night of sleep, perhaps you can try a different approach than a medicine or wherever. So it's just a way of putting the voice out in the world and people to know that we can have all the experience all around the world. And please, if you have any further news like this one or anything, I will follow you on your Instagram profile. And please continue this amazing work that you do and sharing with all of us all these amazing experiences. So thank you so much for these times.
Well, thank you too. All right.
So bye-bye, Anna.
Okay, bye, Catarina.
Thank you.
Bye, thank you.